Howdy, folks. Been a long time since I did one of these videos. Hi, it's Jim from One Big Guy. Problem with that is, still one big guy. Um, yeah, I spent a couple years ago making a bunch of videos with my Itaki Chef Pro, and I was just getting back into the eating healthy lifestyle, plant based. Yeah, I was doing pretty good with that for a while. I lost a lot of weight in 2020. In the beginning half, I gained most of it back the second half. Story of my life. I happened to find a guy while I was doing a lot more reading and research into um, the McDougall starch solution, and I started reading that book. I started doing a lot of research into the McDougall program and the starch solution. I started doing a lot of reading, and along one of his talks, I came across a guy, Andrew Taylor. Um, you guys might or might not have heard from him, um, but he is the Spud Fit Challenge guy. He did basically he thought of it in such a way as food addiction, which is really how I kind of describe myself as well. Um, Food addiction. He figured that he would treat addiction to food the same way that people would treat addiction to any other substance, and that would be to abstain. Can't abstain from food though because you'll die of starvation. So he was looking around for the perfect food to eat, and he came across potatoes. And so he decided that he was going to eat just potatoes for a year under medical supervision. And everybody thought it was a great idea. Some people thought he was crazy. Doctors thought he was okay if he wanted to do it. Turns out he lost a bunch of weight and started a whole movement. And it's been really, really eye opening and motivating for me to see. Um, Food addiction. Yeah, it's definitely a real problem. Um, there's a lot of similarities between food addiction and every other addiction. The only thing that is difficult with food is that you can't just stop. You can never take another drink again for the rest of your life and be just fine. But you can't never eat food again and be just fine. It's pretty quick way to just die actually. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do some of that stuff on this channel. Try to get myself back into the swing. It's a 30-day challenge. I've committed to at least doing the 30 days. We'll see where it goes from there and how I feel. I've been very much so into the starch solution and the nutritarian kind of mix there, and reading a little bit into both, deciding which path to go. I feel like the starch solution is more my thing, but I really enjoy the food cooking wise with the nutritarian diet. But I feel like we could fit somewhere in the middle as long as I stop eating the way that I am eating with the addiction, which is kind of that binge bust cycle, binge bust, binge bust. You eat a lot of one, you eat really great for a long time, and then you binge for a while and ruin all the progress, and you get those feelings of guilt, shame, and remorse, and so on and so forth. So a lot of similarities between drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and food addiction. And he seems to have kind of hacked away into figuring out how to stop that. Now, he's not the only one who's ever had a monostarch diet in the past and has been successful. There's been the rice diet, all that, but there's a good amount of support behind this, and I was pretty happy to see somebody kind of stumble across this epiphany themselves. You watch some of his videos. He's great. The Spud Fit is what it's called. That's he's got his group of followers called the Spuddies. I guess I'm a Spuddy now. Very active Facebook group, very active individual, great down to earth guy. So I think I'm going to be using this platform for a little bit to kind of go into that stuff and do some recording here and there. Keep it really simple. I might not try to do some of these really large um, recipe videos or anything like that. The purpose of the Spud Fit is to keep it boring and keep it simple, because the less time we spend thinking about food, the easier it is to break the addiction cycle, the boom bust cycle, and we stop our brains from focusing on the food as the center of our lives, and instead it refocuses us to instead focus on our lives and use food just as the fuel to do those things. It's been good. It's great. Great. great inspirational stuff that I found on his page, and it made me want to do it. Plus, I love potatoes. 100%, I love potatoes. I am as Irish as they come for an American, and I eat potatoes. I love to eat potatoes just raw right now, cold out of the refrigerator with nothing but a little salt and pepper on them to begin with. So, no real skin off my back, and there's a lot of variety of potatoes that you can eat. There's hundreds and hundreds of varieties of potatoes all over the world. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm on day 3 right now. I'm excited to keep going with it. I haven't really hit a barrier yet. I've heard there's a barrier at 6 days, 7 days, whatever it is, until you get to the first 2 weeks, so on and so forth. I've committed to 30 days, and I'm gonna do the 30 days, hell or high water, and then we'll see how I feel going from there. Whether I feel it's working for me or not, but I'm gonna give it at least that shot, the 30-day challenge. Got nothing to lose, I'm a 340-pound asthmatic with some back issues, and I'm only 36 years old, and I would like to be able to do the things that I enjoy, hiking and camping, and I do a lot of that. I do a lot of that stuff now, but I do less of it than I want to because I'm not at the fitness level that I want to be to do the stuff I want to do, and I feel like this is something that really has the potential to break the one thing that all the other lifestyles could not break me of so far, and that is the addiction boom bust cycle. Um, so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I'm doing a video. I want to get back into the YouTube swing a little bit, and see if I can't just show my progress. Get into this and do a little bit of kind of a video blogging, I guess. Tell you my thoughts from day to day, week to week, however it goes, progress. I haven't weighed myself yet. Again, I don't really care about weight at this moment. I care more about how I feel emotionally, mentally, and my relationship with food in general, and how successful I am in curbing that. Because that to me is going to be the key. It's not that I don't know how to eat. It's not that I don't know the nutrition behind it. It's not that I haven't read and studied. It's just that I fail miserably when I try to apply it to myself. And I believe that is a sign of an addict. So I'm going to give this a shot. I really like the angle that we're coming at from this one. So hope you guys can maybe stick this out with me through this journey. Um, Share this with your friends if you want to see me go through this 30-day challenge. Maybe like, subscribe, pop the bell notification. Let's see if we can get a couple people to subscribe to this, because I'd really love to see how this works for me as opposed to anything else I've done in my past. So anyway.